Hey everyone, this is Pharaoh Silver, the Pharaoh of Beer Money Finance, and with me is AJDowntown, the owner of the Beer Money Network. And yes, I don't have the Pharaoh headdress anymore. I'm not. Yeah, we're not doing that anymore. So I got instead this cool little Canapolis Cannonballers hat. So yeah, it's kind of nice, isn't it?
Go Cannonballers, I guess.
So anyway, today we're going to be talking about Atlas Earth minigames. We're doing a little update. We're going to talk. We're going to rank our. We're going to rank minigames from 1 to 6, and we're going to talk about. And we're going to start. And this one is also going to be a supplemental guide for those of you watching the Summer of Atlas. You'll have gotten this from the minigame section, which is I think the 3rd video in the series. But this supplemental was long before that. So we're going to go ahead now, and this is going to be with the addition of rock, paper, scissors, and without trivia, because trivia is not out yet. And we'll do another update with the trivia down the line. So let me go ahead and go right to it. There we go. Okay. So you see here that there's 3 columns on this here. There's the newbies column, there's the AJ column, and then there's my column. So here's how here's how it's gonna work. We have a shared list for newbies, and we're going to come up with like what we think newbie and casual players, like the order that they should be playing mini games, or at least mini games that are most friendly to them. And then we have our own personal lists after that. Does that sound good? I think that
works
sounds
for me.
All right. I think let's go top to bottom for newbies, and then we'll go bottom to top for our list. Does that sound good?
Yeah, yeah, it sounds great. And it's important to note, I think we both kind of agree the kind of the perfect mini games for noobs to kind of get in there and succeed at.
Yeah. So so you can go ahead and just say what the number 1 is. If you
Look, Racer is the best game. It was their first game, and it is the best game. It's a little tricky to initially figure out when to do this, but once you learn the shifts, I mean, you're doing 4 button actions through the entire time, and you're good to go. So it's the least intensive. It's the least one that takes the least amount of concentration, and it's generally the highest paying. So I gotta think Racer is probably just hands down the best one.
Yeah, Racer is without a doubt the best one for new players. Like you said, 4 buttons. It's a lot more fun to actually watch. It's more visually appealing to newbie and casual players. The only downside to Racer is that they're going to need more wins to really get ahead on it. But there's also less time. It's actually the least amount of time of any game out there, of the 6, I should say. 35-40 seconds is usually how long it takes to go from game to game, like from the start of one game to the start of another. So, and that's more than any other by far.
Well, it's less than any other, right? You can get more games in through the time period.
More
right?
games
so
per hour. Yeah, more games per hour than anyone by far, I should say.
So as long as you're willing to put in the time, like it works out probably the best.
Yeah.
So highly recommend all new players learn how to do Racer, and there's plenty of strategy guides and all out there that tell you how to do that. Or you come listen to us, I'll tell you.
Yeah. Now we both are agreeing on 5 and 6. I think it was 2, 3, 4 where we had some talk regarding it. So what was your number 2 for newbies?
Look, just for the simplicity's sake, rock, paper, scissors is probably number 2 for newbies.
Then yeah, I'm going to go with I actually agree with you on that one. So I'm going to go with RPS as well.
Right. I mean, it's very. I mean, gosh, there's absolutely no strategy. Everybody knows how to play rock, paper, scissors, right? When it comes up, pick rock, paper, or scissors, and there you go.
Yeah.
The only downside is it does take a long while to get through an entire match, right? Or a downside for newbies is that it does take a long time to get through a match, and so you can have something take up to a minute or so to get through the entire match. So
The other thing I would like to mention too is that it is, I think, the game where a newbie could, and granted, this would be entirely luck based, cheese their way through to a podium spot. They are like it is the most feasible for a new or casual player to finish in the top 3 or 25 or wherever, just out of sheer luck, or if they understand like the psychological part of it.
You know how I feel about the psychological part of it. I don't think there's any of that going on here.
Well,
but
we'll get to that.
It's easy. It's very easy.
Yeah,
it's very easy.
It's easy. It's about as mindless as Racer, just much longer. Ties can just be a real pain, especially if you go random. And we'll talk more about that when we get to our lists, AJ.
Yeah, but it's lower mid payout, so it's okay payout for it.
It was about mid. I think it was pretty close to golf, if I'm not mistaken.
The 3 hour only got like 125, I think, from what I recall.
That's pretty good.
So
that's real good.
Yeah, it's okay. Not for the 3 hour. For the 2 hour, that's decent. Right. For the 3 hour, you should be getting close to 150, 160.
All right, number 3, I went with bowling. Five buttons.
I went with
5 buttons.
Yes, 5 or 6.
5 or 6, yeah. 5 or well, for a casual player, usually 5. I don't think they're doing 22s. Like this is for new casual players. They only have to worry about 5 buttons. Most of them are probably playing players who are pulling 16, 18 most of the time. 20 is extremely rare. That's why I feel like bowling is probably 3rd on the list. And I know bowling, fishing, this one's a very close one. But the main difference comes down to the number of buttons for me. Bowling is 5, fishing is 16.
Agreed. It was back and forth for me on this one. The only reason I went with fishing is because once you learn the one trick of fishing, or the one main trick of fishing, that it goes around in a circle, either clockwise or counterclockwise, once you figured that out, it's super easy to predict where that next fish is and to get it every time, right? So for most of the people, I mean, as long as you know that trick, you're going to get top 500, right? As long as you stick with the whole event, right? You'll get top 500 just by knowing that one simple trick.
Okay, but counter argument with bowling, if you know that one simple trick in bowling, wouldn't you not instantly become a top 50, 100 player?
The timing on bowling, I think, is a little bit more. You have to be a little bit more precise on bowling, right? So even I still don't get all the bowling 4s correct that I need to on that. I still end up either overshooting or undershooting 1 or 2 4s every couple of matches. So. I mean, there's an argument either way. I think it could be either one. I went with fishing because I think it's just easy with the circle. But bowling is fair enough on that.
I'm going to throw bowling and fishing and bowling here. Hang on. Does that seem like it would? No, that would be way too much. Hang on for a moment. I'm going to do something. I'm going to just...
We want to do paper scissors for it?
No, I'm going to just do 24. That works. Okay. All right, there we go. So bowling and fishing for... So here's the thing with bowling, right? Okay, so with bowling, again, just like it's also shorter. So there's 5, 6 buttons, but it's also shorter, AJ. So it's a 30-second game compared to a 40-second game with fishing.
40 seconds.
Yeah, and game to game is about 55 seconds versus fishing, which is like almost a minute and a half. Which is weird that it's longer, but I think it's the way that they built it.
There's animations.
Yeah,
there's a little more action. Although there is some additional animation in bowling, but yeah, fishing does feel like it's a little longer. Again, I'm okay with either way on that one.
All right, I'm just gonna leave it as a kind of almost a tie in a way. But the other two we aren't really going to argue about. 5th is golf. Golf is difficult for new players. It is. 16 buttons, 30 seconds, and very much a game. It's the closest to a game of skill that we have. in Atlas Earth right now, in Atlas Earth minigames, at least in my opinion. And even then, it still will fail you with lag at times.
Right. The amount of precision you need for golf, it's quite astounding. Like even just a millisecond late, or just a fraction of a hair of a lag, you're going to get 0 as opposed to 4. It's difficult to begin to understand that precise timing you need and how to play your specific lag. So it is very difficult, and sometimes still trips me up. So,
But for new players, I mean, for new players who aren't at the level yet that they're doing 40s, like 30 is considered a big deal for newer casual player, maybe 35. For them, it's definitely something. It's definitely, I think it's got a little bit of excitement in there, but it will get complicated, and especially when these are supposed to just be mini games. I mean, like, it's fine if it was like one giant tournament or something that we're doing, but if it's like you're playing like what 80, 90 of these games in a 2-hour period, yeah, that's a bit much.
right. But I'll give it, for the newbie, all they need to do is really aim for the 3, and if they get lucky on the 4, that's great. But remember, there are 12 strokes, so if you get 3, or 12 threes, that's 36. That's going to win you a fair, decent number of matches against the newer players.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, last place is Dollar Store DDR Warship.
Look, my love hate for Warship changes. But look, it's the most complicated because it's got the most complicated pattern to figure out, to get the rhythm. Like I was just teaching my mom, who plays these mini games. I was just teaching her how to do it, and she still didn't quite understand the patterns back and forth. She just couldn't get it. It's a tough game to get that feel for.
So,
and it doesn't pay out a lot.
So now that we've gotten, this is for new players. The Atlas Earth supplement, that the Atlas Earth supplement portion of this now officially ends. So this is what you need to know is, if you're a new player, the order of fun/easy all the way down to difficult/not fun. There you go. Racer, rock, paper, scissors. Bowling, fishing is about a tie. I say bowling, he says fishing. It's close.
A preference at that point.
Yeah, golf and Warship. So the supplemental for the Summer of Atlas is officially over. Let's get to the fun part. We're gonna start from 6, and we're gonna go all the way to 1, and we're gonna take turns with this one. So
okay.
So how do we want to do this? Let's do. I'll go first. Let me just see if that would work out. Yeah, so I'll go first. I'll go first.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. We both have talked about this in advance, y'all. Should we say it? Should we say what number 6 is?
Let's just say, because we agree on this one.
At the same time,
the worst one.
Ready? And 1, 2, 3. Rock, paper,
scissors.
Yeah,
it's awful. It is awful. I can't. I can't. It's awful.
So for newer players, it's not. So I get the appeal for newer players, and it is a little bit. So I know the gap between RPS and number 5 for AJ is pretty far. Not so much for me. It's close. It's close.
Really?
It was close. It was close, I should say. Not so much anymore, actually. You're right. But okay, for new players, yes, you get a chance. So the upside is, yes, for newer players, you get a chance to make podium. The downside to that is, for newer players, you get a chance to make podium. So there really isn't a chance to master this mini game and to get better at it.
What's the strategy? There is no strategy to rock, paper, scissors. Everybody that thinks they have a strategy, they're wrong, right?
Okay,
You're just wrong.
I actually got to top 25 for a brief moment on Tuesday in rock, paper, scissors.
And then what happened?
I stopped playing because I just didn't feel like playing. I'm sorry.
Yes, it's boring. It is so not fun.
I didn't feel like torturing myself for that. I'm just like, I just want to play top 500. I do not want to pressure. Okay. Y'all know I'm a pretty, I tend to have a really bad temper when I'm playing these mini games. And being at top 25, whenever I'm at top 25 or I'm very close by it, more times than not, I get a temptation to just keep going so that I can get that top spot. The thing is like, it's going to be very difficult to do that, though, with a minigame that I cannot control 100%.
At all.
Yeah, at all.
You can't do anything.
Like a lot of these other games, yeah, there's connection issues, there's issues with the internet, there's other stuff that we'll talk definitely about Racer. But the only one where you literally have zero control over what you're doing is rock, paper, scissors. It is. Oh my goodness.
It's literally random, right? You have to guess what the other person's not guessing. And all the people that say there's psychology involved, no, I wholeheartedly disagree, because there's no one in person. You're not face to face. You're playing through a machine. So all the psychology things that you read online, how to get rock, paper, scissors, they're all talking about doing the game in person where you can have an influence over the other person. None of that's happening here, right? You're just hitting a button on a screen and just guessing what the other person's going to do. No, there's no strategy to this. I've just given up on strategy and I just randomly hit buttons. Develop a strategy against that. You have no strategy against this because there is no strategy.
Okay, so the psychological thing is that I've noticed that there are certain players that think a very basic kind of way that I can kind of take advantage of, but not everyone does that, and it gets really annoying. So it does give me a bit of an edge, but the reason why, and I know some people are going to be asking this question in the comments section, AJ, and I'm going to address it now. They'll be asking, well, then how come all the same veteran players are still in the top 100 or so? And the reason why is because they just play more. Like that's literally it.
Yeah, rock, paper, scissors is all about percentiles. If you win half the games, then you're going to do better than a person that only plays a couple times but wins them all, right? They're just persistent. Persistent.
Yeah, so for new players, if you want to get in the top 100 right now, the best way to do it is just play the entire rock, paper, scissors event. Seriously, that's it. And you'll be top 100. Because I got to 25th. All right? I got to 25th at one point in rock, paper, scissors. And all I did, I had these little psychological strategies, and I was actually doing pretty well as well. But I also had a lot of connection issues that I had to restart my phone a couple times, so that would count as losses in a way. If you have a decent enough phone and you're participating enough, you'll easily be top 100.
Right. Yeah, it's just about participation. Your best thing with that is just pull up a random rock, paper, scissors generator and do whatever it tells you, right? Because there is no strategy here.
All right, now let's get to the juicy stuff. Let's get to the juicy stuff. Let's do it. Number 5.
That was part of the fun to me.
Number 5, AJ. AJ, you're number 5.
Worship. I went back and forth on this one, but I think Worship. Number 4 is and 5 are getting awfully close for me, but
same
Worship only because the payout is not as good as I would want it to be.
Same. I'm going with Worship as well. For me, my number 4 and number 5 have gotten extremely close, actually. It's
But our number fours are going to be vastly different.
oh yeah, oh yeah. So I'm snaking up to number 4 here. I'm doing the snake, so I'll start with number 4 if you don't if you're fine with that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Go for
So
it.
number 4 is fishing. Now, the reason why for number 4 for fishing, and honestly, before this video, I was planning on making it number 5, and it does pay a little better, but the issue with fishing is that with the connection issues that you have, more times than not, you're winning based off of just getting screwed. I'm sorry, you're losing based off of getting screwed. So like for example, when you're trying to if your connection is bad, if you're too far away from their servers and further away from the other person, and they have priority over you, you cannot win unless they miss. And that is a problem. And this is the same way with number 3 as well. You cannot win unless they miss.
Yeah, I was going to say this is going to be the same for my number 3. However, my number 4 is different.
Yeah, and well, you chose number 4 for another reason. But go ahead, do your number 4.
Oh, okay. Yeah, my number 4 is golf. No mini game frustrates the crap out of me like golf, right? I can consistently do the same thing on my side every time and get a random miss from a 4 to a nothing, even though nothing's changed. It's just a little blip in your connection, and all of a sudden that 4 becomes a 0, right? Just like nothing. So and it tends to happen in kind of spurts for me. I can't talk about other people, but it tends to happen in spurts. Like I do it like 3 or 4 games in a row where I cannot hit a 4 for the life of me. And then the very next game, when I try and do absolutely nothing different, I'll get like a 46, 47. It's just maddening to me that when I go for a 4 and I think I've got it, that it gives me the miss consistently. It is so frustrating to me.
All right, so we're doing the snake draft here. So it is your number 3.
So number 3, it is one that also is connection dependent. Like once you're out ahead, or if you're behind, you really have to hope for the other person to miss, and that's bowling, right? Bowling, the max you can get is 22, and I can usually tell by the third throw whether or not I can even possibly win it, assuming that we're both going for the 22. You can see you are either tied with the other bowler in the action, or you're behind. You're going to lose, assuming that you all get the same force from then on. It's just the connection, the visual representation lags behind what is actually happening. You have to be ahead by I'm not going to say a significant margin, but be able to tell well enough for you to know that you are going to get the win. I mean that you get 4s, throughout the rest of it. So usually by the third throw, I can tell whether or not I'm going to win or not.
Okay, my number 3 is also bowling, and it's for roughly the same reasons as AJ. There's connection issues there like fishing, but it's a lot easier to play. Hang on for a moment. Okay. I felt like I was about to sneeze there. Oh, okay.
And there it is.
Okay, so yeah, for me, number 3 is bowling because of the same reasons that AJ is saying. There are connection issues, but it's a little bit easier to play. It's a little bit more fun to play. The animations are kind of funny. For bowling, bowling's like that ball out of the bowling alley. I like that. I don't know. I like that.
I don't look at it anymore, honestly. It was funny the first couple of times. I don't even look at it anymore.
I mean, I don't know. For me, it never gets old. But yeah, the 22. But yeah, the 22 method is still rather new. It seems like at least it hasn't gotten to a point yet where it's made it impossible to have that you need a good connect. I mean, I think it's eventually going to fall down the ranks for me, but not anytime soon because I think you can still get top 25 without having to worry too much about needing to do a 22.
Honestly, no, I don't think you can. I'm saying that it's getting tougher to get top 100 now without doing that 22. You got to do it.
No, I'm saying doing the 22 is fine. I'm talking about the connection wise. Connection wise,
Oh,
you can probably do top 25. Maybe it's top 50 now. I don't know.
it's getting tougher. Let's just say now that they've opened it up with the no cost mini games, a lot more people are playing for better for worse, right? Um, so it's getting a little more crowded at the top.
Yeah, it is a little bit more crowded at the top, but I don't know. I'm still getting top 25 in bowling. I don't have the same connection issues and the same lag that I do with fishing, and it's not so frustrating. And one thing with fishing that I should mention too that has given me problems is even to this day, I'm still getting misses when I'm right on top of the fish. To this day. Whereas I don't have this problem with bowling, where bowling it will never if I hit a 4, it's a 4. If I hit a 2, it's a 2. If I hit a 1, it's a 1. It never misses. Clearly the programming between bowling and the programming between fishing and I'm going to say the number 2 on my list which we'll get to is very very different.
Yeah, I think we've talked about fishing. The only other thing I wanted to say about fishing that we may not have talked about.
We
Well,
can get to it. We
actually,
can get to it. Yeah,
yeah, we can talk about it a little bit. Yeah,
yeah, when
yeah,
you're
yeah.
rank fishing. But I'll do my number 2 now. My number 2 is Racer, but I was about to type there, but it wouldn't type. Racer. Racer is awesome comparatively to the other mini games. It's a lot more fun. It's very easy. It's very relaxed comparatively so. I'm talking comparatively here. None of these games are really like super relaxing to me. But Racer is at least, just press 4 buttons and you're done. And if you know exactly what you're doing, you will easily hit top 100 in Racer every single event. The only thing is, the only thing that keeps it from number 1 for me is Racer is the most connection dependent of the mini games and always has been. I think maybe fishing. Well, actually, I think fishing is now the most connection dependent mini game, but it's definitely up there. It was the original like frustration for me, but Racer has been winning by attrition ever since for me. So,
I get that it is connection dependent, and I'll talk about that particular. But to me, golf is high connection dependent because it's hit or miss on golf, right? If it lags a little bit, you get nothing. At least with Racer, if you go a little too late, it doesn't necessarily take you out of the race. Against someone that knows what they're doing, yeah, but if you're not playing the best player, you can recover. There's no recover. Yeah, you can recover.
All right, on to your number 2, AJ.
Sure. Number 2 for me is fishing for a couple of reasons. It's simple to understand the basic concepts, right? It goes around in a circle, you get it. And if you learn a couple of extra tricks, like when to kind of like do them, like a controlled miss, you can actually beat the vast majority of players, even some of the top players, if you learn the correct times to do the intentional miss to kind of offset your cursor a little bit to move it, a little bit ahead of the your opponent. So to me, it's actually more of a mind game than rock paper scissors is. It's right trying to out strategy your opponent on when to do the move, right? Or whether or not to do the move. In particular, because if you do that kind of intentional miss too often, you'll lag and you actually miss a fish, and that's a plus and minus there to me. Sometimes you can make your opponent try and reposition so much that they'll not get the next fish, and then sometimes you'll try and reposition and all of a sudden you won't get the next fish. But to me, it's a little bit more fun to me than some of the other games, and it's pretty simple.
The connect I don't think that was the intention for fishing to begin with. That's why the connection
I,
issues are the way they
I'm,
are.
I'm I agree that it's not the intention, but doesn't mean you can't use it.
But okay, our number one. So I'll start with you, AJ.
Yeah, my number one is a racer from the beginning. The racer to me is just the most fun. It requires the least amount of mental focus. So you got those, you do holding down the shift and then the four shifts throughout the match. But once you do that last shift, you actually can kind of like relax mentally for like 10-15 seconds before you start up the next match, which when you're doing these for 2 hours or 3 hours long, it really does matter, right? It helps you keep you focused and in the. But plus, it's fun. I have fun doing it, and I'm usually playing against myself. Like, oh, I didn't hit that shift right when I wanted to, or even with the lag that Racer has, you can kind of learn how to play the lag so that you can know when to hit it to do the proper shift. It's a little bit of skill. It's skill. It's a lot more skill based than most any of the other games too, and so that's one of the reasons I think that's probably the best mini game.
My only issue with Racer is it is a little bit more connection dependent than your typical game. Actually, that's probably the one positive that Rock Paper Scissors has is it's not connection dependent at all.
It doesn't matter
I know.
with rock paper scissors.
No, it's just that's just like the one thing is that
because there's no strategy. There's no timing. There's no nothing.
But yeah,
just guessing.
My number one, if you can go by process of elimination here, is golf. So the reason is because golf is, in my opinion, the only mini game that we have right now that has any sort of competitive element to it that is not like connection, that's not super connection dependent. And so like with the other games, if you want to get to the top 25, you basically have to play perfectly, and even then, it's not enough. Bowling, it's not enough to play perfectly. Fishing is not enough to play perfectly. Warship now increasingly is no longer enough to play perfectly to get in the top 25. Racer too. Rock paper scissors, forget about it. Golf is the only one where you don't have to play perfectly to not just be top 25, but you don't have to play perfectly to win. All right. When I won my golf event, I averaged something like 43, 44. I was not doing perfectly at all. And I had those issues too where I was on the borderline of yellow and I would get zeros every once in a while. But I still calibrated and I still managed to get through and it worked out just fine for me. Whereas with like fishing and bowling, I can't calibrate. The connections just won't let me calibrate. And if I miss one with fishing, like that one time I mentioned, like I missed when I was right on top of the fish, I can't win at that point. You have to be perfect in fishing. You don't have to be perfect in golf. And that's the main difference between it. Same with bowling, but bowling is the next least connection dependent next to rock, paper, scissors. And I don't have to worry about it too much, except for those times when the connections are really bad and it starts like skipping. You know how it will skip sometimes? We'll do like those frame skips, AJ?
Well, I'm thinking about the animation where, for some reason, the animation of bowling doesn't bring you into the zoom and back out, so it throws off my timing a lot.
So with bowling, I just count 1, 2, 3, now go. 1, 2, 3, 4, now go. That's what I usually do. So it's
it throws off my timing.
But with golf, it's I don't have to worry about any of that, with the exception of the frame skipping sometimes if the connection goes bad. That does happen every once in a while, but that happens with every game. So and it's online. That's just kind of a given. But in my opinion, that's why golf is my number one. Is it's the closest thing we have to a competitive game. It's the only game that we had where we were all talking about even making a tournament at one point with golf at one time, but not anymore. The game's gotten a little bit laggier to a point now where there's definitely feeling like there's a little bit more luck-based connection dependency involved, but it's still, I would say, the next least after bowling connection dependent. And it's also, like I said, it's a pretty solid game overall as far as mini games go. So I'm going with golf.
Yeah. I know you really like it, but to me, it is highly connection dependent, like frustratingly so.
Like more connection dependent than fishing. Like I'm literally on top of the fish and I miss.
Absolutely.
I'm literally on top of the fish and I miss it. And the thing is, unlike with golf, like I can catch up from missing a 4 more times than not. I can't catch up from missing a shot in fishing. I just can't. Because everyone knows how to 16. Not everyone knows how to catch up and hit 4 after 4 after 4. And that's one thing with golf too that I notice is that if you do have one of those weird ass misses, all of a sudden the connection just like resets and you can hit 4 after 4 after 4 after 4 and you can kind of catch up to it for some odd reason. Whereas with fishing,
that is like, not my experience.
It does not matter what you do with fishing. Fishing just if you miss on fishing because of bad connections, you lose the game.
Hard disagree on golf, man. To me, that connection is killer. Like
now, I can
say, do the same thing over and over again and not get it.
Now,
and then do the same exact thing the next game and get it.
Now I will say because of connection. I will say because of connection issues have been increasing a little bit in golf the last couple months. Golf and Racer is definitely closer to one. It is definitely closer to each other than they were back when we did this in December for me. It's almost to a point that Racer is almost my number one. It's close.
Racer's fun to me, at least. I at least have somewhat amount of fun, which beats any other of the mini games.
Yeah, Racer, I do have fun with golf too, though. It feels like I'm actually playing like a real game when I'm playing golf. Whereas with the others, I don't feel like I'm playing a real game. At least Racer is just kind of a nice little time passer. Bowling is mildly annoying, but at least it feels fair. Fishing is annoying and unfair. Warship is just headache-inducing, and rock paper scissors just sucks.
Yeah, look with rock paper scissors. I had a hard time finding the motivation to even get the number of match wins to finish out the challenges, right? And that's what, 8? I'm hitting 8. I'm like, oh crap! They gave me another challenge with more rock paper scissors.
I did 15. I did the 15 one last event.
I got halfway through the 15 one. I couldn't. It bored the crap out of me. I couldn't even care enough to continue playing. I just couldn't do it.
So I got so then y'all know I got to like 35 or 36. I forget how many wins I had, but I was at 25th place. And I had enough wins to basically secure top 500. I think it was 30 or 31 with about 40 minutes left to play. And then I went to my wife and I said, okay, I'm done. I got my top 500. I'm happy.
It's so not fun. It's so not fun.
Look, I was literally in the top 25 in rock, paper, scissors, and I could have kept going. Probably would have finished at least top 50. I did not care. I did not want to play this anymore.
Would you want to do 40 more minutes of that game? I just hard to find the motivation. I
couldn't do 40 more seconds of that. I was just like, I was losing my mind. The only time it was fun was when I went on stream and I turned it into a party game. And I'm still in the process.
We're having fun.
Yeah, and I'm still in the process of trying to make a proper party game for it on the channel, so that way every time we play rock paper scissors, I can come here on stream and I can be like, and I can be like, okay, we can make like a guessing game amongst all the users and all that or something, and we could just like make like little fake tokens and whatnot, and like little. I know Board Game Sports Network has this thing called like Idaho dollars for his Connect 4 stuff. I might just take that idea and roll with it for something that they could bet on, be like, okay, what will win out and all that other stuff. So, but you know, we had an idea. It worked out well for a little bit, but then even that got boring after about an hour.
Just not fun. It's just not fun. Like imagine you even like sitting in front of someone playing rock paper scissors for 2 hours.
3 hours.
You can't. No.
There's 3 hours. Okay.
Oh.
Okay. The way that they're doing the rotation right now, AJ, as you probably know, the way that they're doing the rotation, there's 6 games and there's 4 nights that they're doing it. So that means that you're guaranteed 3 games on Sunday, and only those 3 games. And the 3 games happen to be Warship, Golf, and Rock Paper Scissors. It's like
they haven't figured out that math yet, have they?
They haven't yet. No, that's why I've given them a heads up. There, it's like, yeah, that Rock Paper Scissors is not coming in every 6 weeks, guys. It's coming in every 3.
Yeah. We need to get Racer back on Sunday, please.
Like, if you're gonna do it, like, at least do it with the most fun game. Like, I would go with Racer. Okay. If we had to only have 3 for Sunday, Racer's definitely number 1. Like, that's definitely going to be on my...
Absolutely. I can easily do that for 3. In fact, let's pause. Remember that time they did the all-day Racer for Christmas that one time? Look, I had fun with that game all day.
Yeah,
it was fun all day. I didn't get bored of the game.
Number 2, I think, is probably going to be bowling. I can possibly see bowling for 3 hours. And 3, I think the 2 of us would definitely differ. You'll say fishing, I'd say golf.
I don't think I could do 3 hour or all day of golf. I think that would just drive me about insane.
I couldn't do 3 hours of fishing. Final question. We're going into trivia as the next one. My sneaking suspicions is it's going to be very similar to Swagbucks trivia or HQ trivia back in the day, where
they specifically was going to be like that.
Yeah, so knowing that that's the plan, at least that we know of, where do you think that's going to be on this list? Where would you possibly rank it if I were to throw HQ/Swagbucks trivia on here? Or some was HQ trivia the one with the pot size and you just answer 10 questions and you win, or?
It was something like had like 20 questions. You had to be there for like the 45 minutes that it went on or whatever, and it had the announcers, and then based on the number.
So Swagbucks trivia. Swagbucks trivia.
Based on the number of people that came on is how they split up the pot. Yeah.
So Swagbucks trivia, just like that. Okay. No,
I haven't done Swagbucks trivia.
It's the same thing. Okay. It's the same thing. Okay, so knowing that, where would you put it?
Look, I always enjoyed HQ. The only issue I have with that sort of scenario is you have to be on at the beginning, right? It's not like these other mini games where you can come on like 10, 15, 30 minutes late. Like, because there are some Sundays or whatever that I just can't get on for the first hour, right? So I have to come on after that. You're out of luck with that sort of scenario. But in terms of fun, yeah, that's probably going to be one of the more fun ones. I love trivia, sure.
I would rank it, let's see, out of 7, I would probably rank it 2 or 3. I haven't quite gotten the feel for it yet. I want to say at first glance is probably going to be 3rd on my list, but it'll be above bowling but below Racer. But that's a close one, though, between it and Racer for me. And golf, actually. A close 3-way there.
If it's what I think it is, I still think Racer's more fun. But I would probably put the trivia at 2.
At 2?
Yeah.
No, I gotta say trivia's 3. Well, I don't know. It's gonna be
really
close.
like your golf for some reason.
Racer golf trivia is gonna be very close. I feel like it's gonna be like I have to get a feel on them, but I mean, I wouldn't mind that being what we do for sure. For if that would be the 3 Sundays, but by then they'll have 7. They'd have 7 mini games.
That's the 7th one.
Yeah, so it would start rotating. It's a prime number. They'll rotate it, so every game's gonna have their time in the sun on a Sunday. After that. So it wouldn't.
Can we vote to not have rock paper scissors on Sunday? Can we do that? Anybody? Actually, you know what? Let's just get rid of rock paper scissors entirely.
I'm looking forward to like next week. People seeing rock paper scissors showing up again on a 3-hour. I think it's next week.
It did really awful the last 3-hour Sunday. It was a horrible 3-hour payout. It's just not fun. I know some people love it because there's no strategy. You love it now.
It should not
2
be
months
more
from
than
you're going to hate it.
Yeah,
You're gonna hate it.
Yeah, that's literally why we have here. Rock, paper, scissors, great for newbies. It is number 2 next to Racer. But the more you play, the more you're going to hate it. Guaranteed.
Yeah, it's awful. It's awful.
Yeah. And I'm checking just to make sure that I'm actually right about it. Today's Thursday, right?
Are you looking at the next coming rock, paper, scissors?
Yeah.
We got golf this Sunday, right?
Yeah, then rock, paper, scissors
and
again
then,
on the following Sunday. Yep.
Yep, it is.
Yep,
awful.
It is.
Awful.
We've had rock, paper, scissors. Yeah, like I said, it's turned into a 3-week rotation.
It's awful.
Yeah, so...
I'll let you know how I really feel about it.
Well, let's do a rock, paper, scissors stream on Sunday. 3 hours, yeah.
No! I like you, but no!
24-hour Christmas rock, paper, scissors marathon. Let's go!
Also no.
So, all right. So that's our rankings, everyone. Who do you agree with more, myself or AJ? Let us know in the comment section below. It's me, of course. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Beer Money Engine and the Beer Money Network, and go check out the Discord. By the way, we do a lot of fun stuff there. So with that, I will see you all next time with the Summer of Atlas actually coming up on Wednesday. We're starting that on Wednesday, so we'll see you then. Bye, everyone.
Bye.